It had been a massive and exciting couple of weeks. We'd narrowed down our thoroughbred selection from 4 horses to 2, and when the choice between Little Brown and Big Bay was too hard, there was only one choice. We had to get them both. But had we bitten off more than we could chew? How was it that we found ourselves in this situation? Had we made a mistake? Let's go back to before this event happened and see what had led to this. Hey Tash.
Hello.
I'm excited.
You're excited.
Do you know why?
I'm excited.
Do you know why?
No, I have no idea, because we're going to eat cake.
Have a look up here at the whiteboard. What name for the girls? I put girls, I probably should have put mares, but anyway.
That's all right. Everyone will know what you mean.
But what we're going to do today, we've got Little Brown, Big Bay. We've had a crazy amount of engagement this week.
So much.
It's been so exciting, hasn't it? And I'm going to get you to pick 2 favourite names. I'm going to pick 2 favourite names, and Kate's going to pick 2 favourite names. Then this week, we're going to narrow it down. So I still want people to choose them, but yeah, it's been incredible. Like, look at this. We whipped up this sheet with everyone's feedback, and it's been really, really cool, hasn't it?
How many lines do we have?
I think there's hundreds of lines.
I've been reading them all, and there was 2 names that straight away I went, yes, I like that.
Because it's important, I feel, isn't it, to pick a name that suits the horse.
I don't know, like my first thoroughbred,
yes.
His name is Blackie, because he was black, and when they sold him to me, they're like, this is Blackie, and I didn't like Blackie. So I called him Raven, and I remember they were like, Raven? I was like, yeah, because he's black, and they're like, but that's a really ugly, nasty bird. And I went, oh, but like Raven, because raven hair. I just read too many books.
It suited him. What's your names for Tash?
I really like Thelma and Louise.
So there we have it, Tash's names. Would you like to know my names?
Your pick, yeah.
Yes. So I'm actually a little bit torn at this stage between Little Brown.
Yeah, there's no Big Brown.
No, I've got 2 names. I did like the name Bambi. There's Little Brown. It's little.
Okay.
And then someone else had said Melody, and I liked.
Oh, you were a music person.
I know.
You have to go Melody.
So you think that rather than Bambi?
Yes.
Okay.
Because then it's all confusing, because we looked at a horse that was actually called Bambi.
Oh, we did.
How did you not remember that?
I don't know. A very popular name that people were doing was Phoenix for a horse.
Yeah.
And then someone said, yeah, Phoenix, it's done a lot, but if you want something a little bit less common than Phoenix, was the name Nova. Well, I think they said that they looked up the definition for Nova, and maybe also things like new beginning or new hope or new like I think a new beginning, and I thought, especially for Big Bay, that was really cool theme, I thought. We'll grab Kate and we'll find out what her names are.
Okay, so I really liked, there was one that said AURORA and ATHENA.
Okay.
And I thought Aurora is very, like, it came to mind like Aurora Australis, which is the Australian, Northern Lights kind of, it's the Southern Lights. So it was Aurora and Athena. Aurora could be the Little Brown.
Athena is the god of something.
Yeah, the goddess.
Of. We need to do extra. We need to do one more, like just Tash's second choice, and Tash and Kate's second choice. Truffle for Little Brown and Snickerdoodle for Big Bay. I really want to go into my competition. Here is Natasha Alcoff in the Grand Prix on Snickerdoodle. Can we please do that?
So there we have it. What name for the girls?
Vote below.
And to clarify for voting
content.
instructions,
Yes.
you could, for example, you could take Phil's one here of Melody.
Don't try and influence the voting.
And if you wanted to, you could then go with the other one. Snickerdoodle. Anything goes. And next week, we will do the big reveal.
Snickerdoodle, Snickerdoodle. We need to figure out what bits work for Brownie. So I've ransacked some old stuff. We have I think this is a very small, thin sweet iron, a Tom Thumb, and a rubber one.
And this is similar to what they were using when we picked them up?
Yeah, they had. It's good. Yeah, so that fits even a little bit better than the sweet iron. It's just got a little bit more room. So I think that's the one we're going to go with. So we'll tuck it into the bridle. So we're just going to check and fit this one. Good girl. Such a little sweetie. So you just want to put your hand where the bit is, because you don't want the bit to touch their teeth, and you want to keep this right hand is on the nose, so if the horse goes to throw his head up, you can push down with your right hand. Then you ask for the mouth to open. Good girl. Whoops, don't go in there. So what you are looking for when you fit it, you're looking for there to be 2 to 3 wrinkles. So you don't want the bit, like that would be too loose, that would be too tight. See how I'm like making her smile? So that's a pretty good fit there. Everything's on the last hole. Everything's slightly small. That's all right. Okay, so this is Big Bay. Is that what we're calling it, Big Bay? Please come up with a better name for her, guys.
Well, when you say big, in relative terms, she's only, what, 16'1" or something like that?
Yeah, she's not big. So the girls said this is a massive, 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 massive bridle. Good girl. I don't think it's too massive. I think that's fine. Good girl. And what you love as well is, you know, they've had bits in their mouth.
Yeah.
That's a good fit. So you're looking for the thing that does up. So this bit's too, if we look here, too loose. There's no wrinkles or anything going on. This is a really strange bridle, but it actually does up on the pole. I'm not an expert at saddle fitting, but it might be a little bit, the gullet might need to be made a bit something. So we will get the saddle fitter to come out as well. This horse has a really, really high wither. So you can see there's not as much room in the saddle. Like when I sit on that, I'm pretty much going to be on her wither. So they need to do something to the saddle to make it sit up higher, or maybe with the fluffy thing it'll be better. Yeah, it definitely isn't pushing as much, but this is why we get professionals.
So, then I do, because you've got a wingtip there, I'll actually use the face gauge, so actually go 3 fingers behind that shoulder blade, and that's where the gullet's going to sit on the... And here I actually take a sketch of her with the area here behind, and then I actually draw that on my paperwork. And then if she changes, we can actually see how she's changed. So if we can build up top line. The rocking is when there's actually too much inside the panel in the middle. Fitting system, it actually pulls off 3 different parts of the saddle, so front, medium, middle and rear. Now these here, you can actually, if you open that, you can actually tighten it, and it'll actually bring down the back of the saddle. Oh. So if you've got just a little bit of bounce, and if you just put it down that way and run it up, that'll. But whatever you do, if you do it to one side, you've got to do it exactly the same to the other side. Otherwise, you'll start to twist the saddle because you're pulling more on one side. So without having a ride, I think this is actually okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, it was easy.
Unlike this mare, she's actually, she's missing muscle along here. And weight will help a lot with that. And we're probably going to need something, just because she's missing that top line there. And that's where something like the balance pad works through.
Okay, so first time in an indoor, maybe, who knows? They're like a normal young horse. We've got a bulging side, so she falls through the shoulder and bulges out through her right shoulder, and then she falls in on this part of the circle. So you normally have one part of the circle that bulges out and one part of the circle that falls in. Kenta, good girl. We're not bucking, which is good. Oops. some horses can lunge on one side and then they keep trying to cross over and go back to the other side on the lunge. She doesn't seem like she's that. There you go. Good girl. And that will do for today. So, as expected, Little Brown was lovely on the lunge and handled being in an indoor and having, we've got a generator out the back of the indoor, so it was quite noisy and she was all good with all of that. So, very good and happy with her. Okay, so she is straight away more concerned about her environment. She's wondering what that generator noise is. She's paying more attention to her world. That's it. That's a good girl. That's a good girl. Good girl. Don't. So sometimes when you lunge horses, they can feel like blocked. It happens when you ride them too. They just feel that they have nowhere to go. And even though they have everywhere to go. And I think this is what happened with Big Bay. She just got up near the wall and I was pushing her with my body to go out onto the lunge circle. And you can see there's you know, we don't have side reins on her, which we've got, you know, there's plenty of space to go, but sometimes they get so they get that feeling that, yeah, they don't know where else to go. So I think that's why the rear was there. The rear, I think, is you know, that doesn't worry me. It doesn't stress me out. It just shows that she felt like she was under pressure. And what I'm so happy with and so excited about is she then worked really lovely. She didn't let that worry her, or she didn't hang on to that. Once she kind of had her moment and expressed her feeling, she then got to work and she did some really nice lunging work. So I think, yeah, I'm really excited. Fine, huh? Fine. Go.
Just a wrap up.
Okay, so they're
the
both
two
lovely.
things.
They're both wonderful. They're both going to be fun to work with. This one will be easy. This one will be interesting. She'll be fine. She's just a lot greener than that one, and that's what people sometimes get. Like if you go to these were both horses from the sales yard, so not that I got them from there, but that is, you know, where they ended up. So you don't get to ride them, you don't get to see what you've got. And the main thing is they've still got beautiful characters. They're both trying to learn. They're both trying to figure out what I want. And
But
now
this
it's
girl
just-
here had a bit more work done with her
Yes.
at the place,
Yes.
whereas this one was a little bit
She's had
greener.
no work.
She's
yeah.
just had someone sit on her back once, I
But
think.
you can also tell, watching them on the lunge, which one would you buy? You'd buy this one because it's more talented.
Yeah,
So
well
I
done.
trust you enjoyed today's episode. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button so you never miss another episode. And please make sure that you vote. So leave a comment below voting for which name or combination of names. You can choose any combination you like that you think should be the name of our new horses.
Thinking over here. Go Melody, guys.
Snickerdoodle. Now, next week, so many people have been asking, maybe I should get a thoroughbred. They're so excited that I'm sharing this journey and sharing how do you do it. If you don't have a massive budget, you don't have a lot of knowledge, is getting a thoroughbred the right thing to do, and how do you do it? So in next week's episode, we're going to go deep into the costs involved. So what were the costs of the horses? What are the costs of the feeding? What are the costs of the medical care? What are the costs for the gear? Cost. So you can start to wrap your head around, if you need to save, okay, what is the amount I would need for the initial investment and then per month thereafter in the care to have one of these horses and to work with one of these horses. I'm also receiving so much feedback and so many questions about every single part of this process. So many things that I didn't even consider that you guys would want to know about and would want to learn. So what I've decided is I'm going to create a completely comprehensive, completely full program of how to train and how to source and how to go from your off-the-track thoroughbred from the very start all the way to competing it in dressage and or jumping if that's what you choose. So I'm going to create that in the next couple of months, and I need and would love your help and support. So any questions you have, just keep them coming. I'd love to know what you want to know. Some things that you want to know about just don't make good YouTube videos. So the YouTube channel is there to entertain you and there to educate and there to inspire and there to help. Some of the questions you're asking would require me to do a lot more in-depth work and a lot more videos and a lot more manuals and stuff to help you with. So all your questions, please keep sending them through. I can't wait to create this product for you with all your questions answered, so you have everything you need to go and get these results and get these thoroughbreds to where you want to take them, whether it's dressage or jumping or wherever you want to go. So very excited to be doing that, very excited to be on this journey with you. Can't wait to see the names you choose. I'll see you next week and can't wait to share the costings with you next week.